Debbie with Kip's Corner. Welcome back. And if you're new, welcome. And thanks for joining me. I am super excited to do the final flip through of my Going Postal thing. Mini lap book is what I've been calling it. I don't really know what it is. It's just a flippy floppy thing. So yeah, let's dive in. The outside, the base of this was a leather document holder. It had a pocket in the front and a pad in the back. I have no idea what documents it held. I know that sometimes in the past, like insurance papers and things like that might have come in something like this. So maybe that's what it was. I have no idea. I'd gotten it at an estate sale, and I've actually had it for a little while and decided it was time to do something with it. And when I started this project, I really had no idea what I was going to do, other than I did know what kit I wanted to use of Tracie's. This is a Tracie Fox Creative Love Junk Journals on Etsy Design Team project. And this is using her Dispatch, if I said that right, digital kit, and I will put links below to that kit. It's great. Big kit, lots of pages in it. So lots of opportunities, lots of fun things to do. And so let's just go from there. So I started with this leather binder thing. It's got a snap closure. That's was all there. And I didn't do anything to the back. I just left it this nice worn leather. But on the front, I added a panel. This back piece here is from Tracie's kit. And then from there, I've just got bits and pieces. This is some jute, red jute, that I couched on. This is a pocket watch holder clamp thing. A key. This is a real McCoy. This is the emblem, the metal emblem from a post office worker's, a postman's cap. And so that's a real McCoy. And then there's some other metal pieces here. Just this little, if you can get that, it's a letter R, number 8. And this is the piece from an inside of a pocket watch. It's got some engraving on it. And I kept it pretty simple. That's about all I did. And then the fabric that I used throughout is from an old feed sack. It's actually what I'm using here is my base. This is what's left. It's nice and grungy. I used some of the grungy parts. And let's see, what else? And then this little piece of leather is from the pocket that was originally on the inside in here. And I've used pieces of that throughout as well. So that's the front. Okay. It's just a snap. And it opens. And the inside I left blank, the inside front cover. And then the first panel is here. And this has a little slot, like a little mail slot here that this little card slips into. And this is a piece of ephemera, I think, from Tim Holtz. I didn't do anything to it. And it's snug. It is snug. It does fit. There we go. There. It does fit. Just a little collage here, and then this is just a little tuck spot. And in the tuck spot, I have this postcard from, I think, 1912. It's got a scene on the back, but I like the front, and I love the handwriting. And look at how small it is. Look at that. I've just got that tucked in there, and then just an empty envelope, craft-colored envelope tucked in there to go with it. And so that's the front. Throughout, I've used these little pieces, these little metal pieces here as just little accents, and they're called paper fasteners. And a lot of things are called paper fasteners, but these are shaped like a little V, and then you just, whoops, they're little. And then you just pinch that down on your paper, and you can fasten pieces of papers together. So this would have been, I guess, pre-staples maybe. Anyway, they're called paper fasteners. And so I've just used those throughout as little accents. little bit of sewing throughout as well. Nothing dramatic there. Then this panel flips open. And here, we'll do this side first. This is one of the first panels I did, and I just added a little bit of, I thought I wanted to put a little bit of red stitching in here to sort of complement the cover. And so there's just a little patch there. This is an envelope that I made out of scrapbook paper a long time ago. It was in my stash. I've just added a few pieces here, and it is magnetized. And so that opens. And inside I have a little card from the kit that I just backed with some ledger paper. And then I've got a little sticker. It's very white, but I thought, well, whoever gets this, if they want to, you know, stick that somewhere, they could. And then this is from 1899, from November 28th, 1899, and it's a receipt. No, it's actually an actual check. It's been signed on the back, received payment, and it's got this stamp on it, this paid stamp. So I thought that was just a fun little piece to tuck in here. Throughout this, there are lots of pieces of original ephemera, and that's one of them. This is also an original piece. It is a patch that would go on like a worker's shirt. And so it's an embroidered Post Office Department USA patch. Background pages on all of these panels are from Tracie's kit. And then throughout, I've used little pieces of the leather from the pocket that was on the inside and some more of those metal pieces. And then the back panel. This was the back only. I did not have the full envelope. This was tucked inside I think it was tucked inside of a ledger that I had gotten at an estate sale. And it was, like I said, it was just the back. And so I added that to some dark blue cardstock, put a few other little pieces on it. Here's another piece of patch with some red on it. And then inside this pocket, I've got a tag that I made. This is from, both of these are from Tracie's kit. And I kind of rubbed on that in a couple spots just to give it a little bit of aging. Added a stamp and a little key there. And then the back is just on, this is, like a hanging file folder. And then I just used the tiny stapler to throw some staples up there at the top. And so that's that. And then this is a tag that I had, again, just from ephemera, probably a Tim Holtz ephemera pack. And I just put a little paper clip here in case you wanted to clip something on. And that's the back pocket. This panel is just a pad of paper. I added a little mail airplane cutout there. And the very back is another piece from Tracie's kit. And I've, again, sewn around the edge. But then inside here, these are all just blank pieces of different kinds of paper. Painter's masking paper, stationery, parchment, fake parchment, just printed paper, just an array of different kinds. I think there's some there's some tea-dyed paper, and just like a little pad. And then this is tea-dyed paper here on the top. So just a little pad of paper back there. And then, okay, let's go this way. This is the panel that I have not shown at all. I did this completely offline. It's also magnetized right here. And it's through a lot of layers, so it's not, it's not hard to open. It just very easily flips. This is cardstock from Tim Holtz. And then all of the other printed pieces are from Tracie's kit. I've got more of those metal pieces here. Paper fasteners, just again as accent. And then this flips down. And on the top, this back piece is from Tim Holtz backdrop. And then I've just got a pocket here. It's a pocket from Tracie's kit that I've added. And then just some ephemera pieces in it. This is a receipt, blank receipt. This is a scorecard. for I don't know what game, but it's a scorecard, bridge maybe? It's a scorecard. And then this is the check stub from 1890. Love the handwriting on that. Isn't that pretty? So just some original ephemera pieces there that I just have tucked in to this little pocket. Like that. Get that tag out there. Then down the bottom panel, this was fun. This is a layering of envelopes. So there's an envelope here in the very back. There's a real McCoy here, and I put the glassine over it. You can see 1924, I think, is the date. Then there's a glassine envelope, then a little glassine bag, and this does have a piece in it. It's kind of ripped up, but it still holds. And I just got a cutout from Tracie's kit in there, and it says post office, and you can still see that through the bag. You can see where it says post office. So that's just tucked in there more for show. And then this is just a little fake envelope. It doesn't open, little sewing on the front. And this was made with washi tape from a 49 in Market washi tape kit. Then if you, here, there's a tag that folds out. And this is actually a picture hanger that I just used as the topper. Some more of that fabric. This is on the card, but then I added the couple of pieces here, a label, the postal, and then that's a piece of mica on top, just for a little bit of fun texture and sewing around. And then it's also just backed with, it's like a file folder, a brown file folder. And that slips actually inside this envelope, which is back behind these three small ones and on top of the one on the back. Then if you take this little piece right here and you flip it up, and you can kind of grab hold down here, that's why I've got this circle. This whole thing opens to a panel that you can write on. So sort of a secret writing spot. And then you could of course also write on the back of this base envelope. So that, and this just slides, just turns right over. That's the bottom of that, and that is the whole secret panel. Next, this flips this way. I'm running out of space over here. Okay, over here on the far side, I did make this panel on camera, and I've added some tuck pieces. This is just a little collage choo-choo train that's got some vintage photo embossing glaze on it, a little bit of sewing, and the train. I thought was, the train was an important part of the Postal Service. And so that's tucked in here, little label, and then these are from Tracie's kit. I added just a little bit of faux aged tape, and I cut that piece out that was on her kit, and it's just inked and backed with just some regular file folder, and then here's another tag from her kit that's backed with more of that. Actually, it's a fabric washi tape, a big fat 4-inch fabric washi tape, and I've just got those tucked in there. Then this opens by untying, and it pulls out. Over here on the far side is another one of those little patches with some of the red stitching, and this is the front of an actual envelope. Same thing, I had only the back of the one piece and only the front of this one, and they were not from the same envelope. They were different sizes, so but the handwriting on this is absolutely gorgeous, and so that's just affixed to some of that blue cardstock. Then behind that I have another little tag. This small tag is from Tracie's kit, and then this piece is from Tracie's kit, and then this is a real stamp that's on there, and it's just plain on the back. Then on this side, the middle, let's see if I can get this, I'm running out of room. The middle is another pocket, but it's also another panel where this piece turns to fold down. And then you can open this, and in here, in this folder, I just have a glassine envelope and a couple little pieces of ephemera. And I've got a signal. This little metal piece is called, let's get it in focus. That's called a signal. And it was actually, I think at one point I said that it was a place to signal where you signed, but I believe it was actually, these signals were all, they're a bunch of different colors, and if you can get them without spending a small fortune on them, by all means grab them, because they're wonderful to use in your journals. But they were a filing system, I think, where you clipped this on there, and red meant one thing, blue another, black, whatever. I have red ones and I have black ones. And then this is a vintage piece. It's actually kind of like a cigarette card, but the front, it's got a sculpture on one side, but the back is made out like a postcard. And so that's a vintage piece, and I've got that tucked in there with an ephemera piece from, I think, also from a Tim Holtz kit, and then just one of the little word cards that says blessed. And I just have those tucked in there. And again, you can just close the envelope or the folder by spinning this piece. This piece in the back was in this book originally. It was the, and I'll show you in the, well, on the last panel where the pads of paper is, this was like the backer board, and it was ripped off. And so I kind of just trimmed it up, cut it down a little bit, and used it as a pocket. And this has a little gusset on it. And inside here, I have, this is new stock. This is a postcard. Got that tucked in there. And then I have a real postcard from, can't tell what that date says. But it's written on, and it was mailed. Yeah, I don't know what that date says, but a vintage postcard. So I have that tucked in there as well. All right, that's that panel. Then, let's see, I'm going to close this. There we go. This is just an envelope affixed. I added a stamp, I added some fabric, and inside is a little card, and this is from Tracie's kit. It's a photo of a postman, and I put actual photo corners on here and then just affixed it to just some of that file folder, that brownish file folder. And so it's kind of a sepia tone image, and I just had that slipped in there. And, okay, let's see, where am I? Did that. This folds back out this way. Okay, and then that closes. Middle panel. And I'll have to remember, I'll have to make sure I've done all of these. Okay, middle panel. This is a big leather piece from the envelope, the leather envelope that was on the inside. It was originally sewn here on the inside front cover, and you can still see some of the stitch marks. And so throughout here, over here, and then this pocket, and I've sewn that on here, and I sewed down the middle, added a few pieces of paper, ephemera, label, and then inside I just have another one of the word cards with one of those signals attached to it. It says noted, and the signal allows me to kind of pull this in and out easily. Then on this side I have another one of those vintage, it kind of like, like I said, it's kind of like a cigarette card. I don't know exactly what it is, but another sculpture on the back, another signal there. This is, it says lunchroom postcards can be bought and mailed at cashier's stand. It's another ephemera piece, and it was a, like an advertising card for Cavern Supply Company. So those are in there. So I have, like I said, I have a lot of vintage ephemera pieces that I've added to this. Okay, then behind that, and this is all gusseted, behind that there's a pocket, and in this pocket I have this is like an onion skin tissue cancellation notice from 1931. This is another postcard, and it's in sorry shape. It's ripped and there's a chunk out of it, but it is, and it's from 1910. It was also actually mailed, and so I have that in there. And then I have a letter from 1924. Dear Sirs, and with pretty, really pretty blue ink. And that's the way it was folded, crooked. And then another letter here from 1947. It was, it's an airmail letter, so it's got that actual airmail red, white, and blue stripes around it. And it also has a letter in it. I have not read the letters, but I'm pretty sure they're all, you know, they're safe. So those are just tucked into that very first pocket here. Then behind that, there's a skinny pocket that's not gusseted, and so it's a little more snug. But I do have a blank postcard, but it's a pre-stamped card in there. And then I also have the dictionary page from an old dictionary, this skinny little pocket dictionary, and it's the page that says mail. So that's just tucked back in there as well. If I can get my fat fingers to open that back up. And then the very back is that's not a pocket. That's not glued down back there in the very back. And there you go. That's that pocket. Let's see, I did that one already. I think that's it. I think that's the last pocket. I did that one, 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 I did that one. This piece was original to, and this is the same color of that pocket, the leather pocket. And so I didn't try to take it off. But what I did when I created these is I clipped these together with a strip of cardstock and then slipped that whole cardstock in there, stapled it down, and then slipped it all in there up underneath here and then glued all of that down. So you could tear the papers off if you wanted to, or just write in them like a journal. And then on the inside, the very inside, you can see here, I've got these. These are called Chicago Posts, and they were not originally on here. I built up the center because this was very curvy, but I needed it to be a little more flat. And so I built up that spine with a piece of, it's like a balsa wood, and then put that back there and then used the Chicago Posts and went all the way through, here you go, to the inside. Yeah, so this whole piece is all screwed in to the base of the leather base. Okay, now I think that's it. This thing, whatever we're calling it, mini lap book, is it is spoken for. If something should come up, I would post it to my Etsy shop. But I wanted to let you know before I leave you that I do have two journals on my Etsy shop currently. One is this gorgeous butterfly journal. There'll be a flip through of this somewhere in my playlist. And then I also have, I think I called this Spring Fling. And so I also have Spring Fling available. And these are both in my Etsy shop. So feel free to pop over there and take a look at them. And like I said, if something happens with this one, then I will post it to the Etsy shop. But as of right now, it is spoken for. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. This was a fun project. I did not have a clue what I was going to do when I got started on it. And I just, I spent way too much time on it, but I had a lot of fun putting it together. And again, don't forget, Tracie's Etsy shop is Love Junk Journals, and this was using her Dispatch digital download kit. So pop over there as well. I'll also have links to the kit in my description box. And thank you for joining me. I'll be back. Bye-bye.